Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. And today we are looking at a couple of the new Powrdragn cards. Powrdragn is a fixed version of the Epic mechanic, which we got in original Kamigawa block, so over 20 years ago. Epic let you do some pretty powerful things, and once you cast it, you get the same ability every single turn. However, after you cast a spell of Epic, you can't cast any other spells. Powrdragn fixes that by letting you cast other spells, but they can't stack. So the wording on Powrdragn is you exile this spell as it resolves. After you first resolve a spell with its name, you may cast a copy of it from exile without paying its mana cost at the beginning of each of your first main phases. And I think that whole after you first resolve a spell with its name basically means you do it once, you can't do it again. So if you cast multiple improvisation capstones, you only get one free one on each turn. So what does a capstone do? It's a 7 mana sorcery lesson. There are no learn cards in Secrets of Strixhaven, so you can't get these from the sideboard like you could in original Strixhaven, but obviously there is still some lesson synergy from Avatar, so bear that in mind. And the capstone says, exile cards from the top of your library to exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater. You may cast any number of spells from among them without paying the mana cost. When you first cast these, obviously you are going to get a random card or cards, and at the start of your turn you will get the same effect. And this is really powerful because it says value 4 or greater. If you hit 3 1/1s and then a 6-drop, you're getting 3 1/1s and that 6-drop. If you just hit that 6-drop, you're only getting that one. For that reason, we are not playing any 4 mana cards. In one of the videos, you may see Enduring Tenacity, which is 4 mana to give creatures we hit haste. I've taken those out and put in one copy of Ferocification, a 3 mana enchantment. Beginning of combat on your turn, we can choose to give a creature +2/+0 on a turn, or a creature menace in haste. And this is so if we hit that, or so we hit that first, we will get another hit with the capstone. And one of the other reasons we're not playing 4-drops is that's just fair. You know, you're hitting a 4-drop is much better to hit a 6-drop or a 5-drop or multiple small drops. The other Powrdragn card we are playing is Germination Practicum, a 5 mana sorcery, also a lesson. It says put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. So we can go pretty wide, and this just buffs the whole board. And obviously getting it at the start of each of our turns is just really, really powerful. Now, the capstone is 7 mana, so what are we doing? We are ramping, and we are playing a lot of the same cards we have seen before. 3 copies of Gene Pollinator, 1 mana, 1/2, tap it and tap an untapped permanent with control, add 1 mana of any colour, and then 4 copies of Llanowar Elves. If we have a Llanowar Elf in our hand, we're playing that over the Pollinator because the Llanowar Elves can tap on its own, Pollinator can't. Then Badger Mob, obviously, Leyline Weaver. Spoke about the Ferocification. We are playing Overlord of the Hauntswolf. Not seen this in a minute. 5 mana, 6/5, impend it for 3. It has impending 4, meaning we can cast it when it enters. It's not a creature, and it enters with 4 time counters on it. And when the last time counter is removed at the beginning of our end step, it becomes a creature. And when it enters or attacks, we create tapped cardless land token name everywhere. That is every basic land type. So this is a 3 mana ramp spell. We don't see it that often because there usually are better ramp spells. Because it also is on a pretty big body, it's a pretty good thing to hit with the capstone. And with all the ramp, we can actually play this pretty early sometimes if we don't want to impend it. Then we have Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, 6 mana, 5/5, also impend 4/4. When it enters or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. And then Trumpeting Carnosaur, we can pay 3 and discard to deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Otherwise, it's a 6 mana, 7/6 Trampler. When it enters, we discover 5, meaning we exile the cards from our library until we hit a non-land card mana 5 or less, either may cast it or whack it into our hand. And this is obviously what we want to hit these big things. And if we can get like a Boiler Bilges down with Ferocification, we can hit for 4, give it haste, hit for another 4, and the 5 itself just really, really powerful. A mana base is 2 colours. We do need green early, so we have less mountains. And then obviously things like Multifaceted Passage and Starting Town Mighty Passage can turn on the Thorns by Verges, but because the Thorns by Verges taps for red by itself, we obviously don't particularly want this on turn 1, which is why I'm only playing 3 of them. So it's not great. Obviously, with the capstone being 7 mana, you generally have to play it in green to ramp there. You could play it in blue, going the control thing, but you don't want to hit control-y cards with the capstone because you don't want to hit a counter spell or like an Aetherize when you can't use it. So just be wary of that. Obviously you can whiff, and it goes to the thing of if you're playing green, just play a Roboroid, and we're not, and we could play a Roboroid, but then you're just going to win with a Roboroid as opposed to the capstone. Obviously a Roboroid and Practicum's really good, and I will be playing that, but something like capstone is going to be really, really good in Brawl, but less good in standard when you just have the games don't really last that long. But it is fun to play. It is fun when you just hit thing after, like you can hit capstone with capstone and then get other stuff as well. So it's really good, although you can only stack one capstone, so just be wary. So a really fun deck when it does work. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in gameplay. What is it with these unkeepable hands? Well, we will learn what elves are, because hopefully then we can turn to Overlord. Which we can. Impend. Now we just need some of our finishers. Or we could just draw our lands. And, let's take out Raphael. What does he do again? Oh, when our creature enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So they are that deck. Well, we have all the mana we could possibly want. Well, we will hold back, because if we attack they won't block, but then they can just attack. On the backswing, yeah, they're going to ping us. Right, what do we hit? Yeah. Overlord. We can't pay for the walled on sharpshooter, but we can decimate their bald, and next turn we can, unless they have another shelter by ghosts, which I would be displeased with. But we've got the capstone going. Yeah. Right, what do we hit with capstone? Another capstone. They don't stack. Carnosaur. Discover. Just a weaver. But our opponent scoops. We attack with the Overlord. We take out their sharpshooter. We can pay the walled. We can give our Carnosaur haste and menace, attacking with that, and smush. Well, now we draw all our top curve without really any ramp. Let's shock you in. Well, we will discard a capstone. But I imagine our Badger Mole card gets removed. And our hand is probably got into. Yeah. I mean, this gives us the biggest upside if we have a hand next turn. Swing in for 4. What else do you have? Yay! Good, another third dot core. Oh. Let's get down you. They have something. I mean, we are a land away from the capstone if it stays in our hand. I exiled a Carnosaur. Well, we got a capstone going. We got a capstone going. You got an overlord. Now the lack of cards in our hand isn't much of it as much of an issue. But we do take 2. Powrdragn. Go face. That's everything we can do. That was a pretty good capstone hit. And we do have lethal. Wait, do you only get 1? That sucked, but still, not bad. We go first. Okay, hand. We'll get our pollinator first. And we can play out both our elves. I mean, we could play out both our elves anyway, but... And we'll get down a... Let's go our lightning town in case we do want to burst lightning something. Like that. So they're probably playing a flash deck. I say probably. Highly likely. There's a Bellion. There's a Badgermole. Turn on you. Capstone. Lightning your face. Pollinator. And another Badgermole cub. So we have all the mana we could possibly want, and a cat getting a free number of spells every turn. Why have you done that on the pollinator? Get another capstone. You only get 1 per turn though. Llanowar Elves and a Carnosaur. We don't have a counterspell. Yeah. I mean, when they're free, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, a germation practicum would really help us. Well, that can just kill Wanchi Tong. Oh, come on. Well, you go first. Good hand. Llanowar Elves, Badgermark Harbour, Leyline Weaver, all turn 2. And the Weaver can give us red mana. And obviously so can the Overlord. Oh, don't remove. Ooh. And there is a capstone. Up against Boros or... Wow, that was effective. It's going to have more removal for everything. Lorehold, that's the word I was looking for. Oh, Jeskai. Red, white and blue. Oh, fun. Good, good. Are they a Dawning Archaic, is it called? Well, now we've bricked. Yep. Not going well, is it? Come on, you removed everything we've got, and now you're tanking? Hell are you doing? Seriously? Jesus. Oh, there's a land. At least you can't remove this, he says. Unconvinced. But we are a long way from, well, anything. Oh good, a Hellkite. We can remove it with the Carnosaur and the Burst Lightning. Which we probably have to do. There you are. There you go. We're a land away from capstoning, but we're also at 9. We do get our Overlord at the end of the next turn. 2 mana, draw 2 essentially. Wow, count on luck. We didn't hit the land. They got a burst lightning, so they can take out elves. The Overlord, it comes into play tapped. But they are going face. Well, let's get down a capstone. We'll get out a capstone. We hit another capstone. Badger mole and an Overlord. There's a lot of things they can draw, but if they don't, well, they found the Prismara charm. Yeah, that was annoying. Well, this is a mulligan. This is better. We will put back a Weaver. Obviously, we do need... Well, I suppose we can cast a forecasted Overlord pretty quickly. And a Practicum, or up against black, I imagine things are going to die. Well, let's get down a Weaver. Oh, they're doing an instant speed removal. Oh, there's a Slasher. Well, we can hub. Well, I'm going to get down a second cub, and if they have the Bloodletter, we will chomp with a Verge. If not, we will take the hit. You know what? We will block. I mean, we get the land, so who cares? I'll have a second Slasher. All we'll do, get down a Weaver. We can forecast it, can't we? Yeah. Oh, no, never mind. I think we can still Practicum. Oh no, because that's got Summoning Sickness. Duh. They're down to 14. You have another Slasher? You know what? We're down to 9. Unless they have Rush of Dread. I think you need more. I think you need 5 for that. Well, that's annoying. Down to 9. What do you have? The Practicum now doesn't really do much because we need the elves to cast it unless we draw a land, an untapped land. And doing 7 with... Okay, well... That's really annoying. but we do just have lethal. Or to face. 5 to face. There we go.